Warriors of Matrimony, written by Kenneth E. Fultz, Jr., narrated by Darilli. Chapter 6. Execution. Thousands of people were gathered around the square, where there was a large platform that could be climbed by stairs. At the top were wooden poles, which held the red sharks with black hoods over their heads. Male Saronian soldiers stood on the top of the platform with long execution spears. Captain Xia was off to the side of the platform.
"Ladies and gentlemen of Saron, I give you the red sharks."
Captain Xia waved his hand toward the boys. The male Saronian soldiers ripped the hoods off the boys' heads, revealing their faces. Jason caught his breath.
"These boys have committed many crimes against the kingdom."
Captain Xia turned to face them. He placed his hands behind his back to look more dignified.
"Including halting military action, stealing, plots to overthrow the government, and male empowerment,"
the captain continued. Jason looked over at Captain Xia.
"Men are just as good as women." "Quiet, you!"
Captain Xia turned to face the crowd.
"Prepare the execution!"
The crowd cheered. Smoke bombs hit an invisible barrier above the execution platform. They exploded, creating a fog over it that grabbed everyone's attention. Captain Xia looked up.
"Ah, so he's appeared at last."
Captain Xia looked down the steps of the platform at Tyson as Tyson fell from the air to the ground with Calidora in his arms. In front of the platform, Tyson stood up as he put Calidora down beside him. Captain Xia got a twisted smile on his face. Tyson held Calidora's hand. He looked up, balling his other into a fist.
"Should have known that wouldn't have worked." "You're correct."
Captain Xia walked down the steps. His two guards followed him. He felt a complete advantage and showed it on his face.
"So, what will you do now, Lion's Heart? Give the girl up to save your friends, or continue to do pointless things?"
the captain went on. All of Tyson's crew members leaned out as much as they could, yelling,
"Get us out of here! Give him the girl!
Help us, Tyson!
Let him have her! Do something! Tyson, make a decision!"
Jason said. Captain Xia stopped at the end of the steps.
"So, what's it going to be?"
Tyson looked at the scared Calidora, then back at his friends.
"You can have her back if I get my friends."
Captain Xia raised his hand, giving a signal.
"You can have your friends back after you hand over the girl."
The male Saronian soldier cut the red sharks free. The crowd booed. The male Saronian soldiers held the tip of their spears against the red sharks' backs as they led them down the steps. Tyson looked over at Calidora again.
"Time to go, little one."
Calidora grabbed a hold of his arm, pleading desperately with him by her eyes.
"I don't want to go with him. You said you'd help me find Mama and Daddy."
Tyson looked straight at Captain Xia, who had a scowl on his face.
"You're going with him." "Glad you could make the right choice,"
Captain Xia said. Tyson guided Calidora forward as he let go of her hand. Captain Xia took Calidora in his arms. His guards quickly stepped forward, blocking Xia off from Tyson with their spears. Captain Xia looked back.
"Tie those prisoners back up for execution,"
Captain Xia ordered. All the red sharks got hit over the head and dragged back up the steps.
"You lousy snake! You lied!" "Huh! Why would I keep a promise to a low-down thug like you? Now watch as your men die."
Captain Xia lifted Calidora up. Tyson created a springboard that he leapt onto to jump over to Captain Xia. He charged up the steps after his captured crew.
"Kill them, now!"
the captain ordered.
"No!"
Tyson shouted. The soldiers threw the boys down the steps, raising their spears to stab them through. Tyson formed a boarding hook, throwing it at the soldiers on the farthest left side. It hooked to the man's armor. Tyson pulled it over to the side, having the men ram into each other, one after another. The group of soldiers landed in a pile close to the edge of the stage. Tyson continued up the steps toward his men.
"Get up, you lazy dogs!"
Jason and the others recovered from their earlier blows, pulling themselves up. 2 spears flew past Tyson, stabbing Basin and Vyson through the chest. Tyson's eyes opened wide in shock and horror. Tyson turned around to see the 2 guards beside Captain Xia had thrown their spears. He bit down on his teeth in fury.
"Why you?" "Kill the rest, including Lion's Heart."
Captain Xia said. The two soldiers designed new spears in their hands to throw. They tossed the spears straight at Tyson. Tyson designed a pirate sword. He swung the blade across, cutting the two flying spears in half. He looked back at his second in command.
Jason, get them out of here,
Tyson ordered. Jason stood up, holding his stomach.
You got it.
He focused on the other red sharks.
Let's go, you dogs.
Jason led the group to the left side of the staircase. He created boarding hooks for the entire crew for them to scale the building. The soldiers on the staircase got up to go after them. Tyson had a fuse bomb in his hand that he threw at the soldiers, blasting them off the staircase. The smoke cleared to reveal two of them blocked the blast with their shields. Tyson moved up the stairs to have them follow him. He curved to the right as he moved up the platform. The two soldiers charged after him. Tyson had his back up against the building wall, having nowhere to escape. The soldiers came at him at the same time. Tyson lowered his body off the ground.
Why don't you two start acting like men?
Tyson slammed his boots right into the soldiers' faces, sending them flying backwards. They dropped their spears as they slid across the floor. Tyson landed on the ground a foot away from the wall. The two guards that were protecting Captain Xia appeared beside him, forcing him to turn in their direction. The two women thrust their spears forward. Tyson blocked with his sword. The spears shoved him off the platform. He fell down toward the stone road below. Tyson twisted his body around to see his fate coming. Calidora struggled in the captain's arms. She stuck out her hand with the purple light flaring around her.
No!
Lines curved and formed half-made dresses that fell around Tyson. They created a soft pile below him.
What?
Captain Xia questioned. Tyson landed in the pile and lifted his face out of it. He picked up one of the dresses.
So many designs that fast.
Tyson looked at Calidora struggling out of Xia's arms.
She really does belong to that family.
Let me go!
Calidora shouted. The glow around her body was gone. Tyson stood up with his hand on his waist.
Well, I suppose I owe you one.
Tyson leapt out of the pile of dresses to the ground. He charged over toward Captain Xia.
Get back!
Captain Xia stretched out his hand. Calidora bit his arm, having him reel it back. Tyson threw his sword, cutting Xia in the shoulder. The captain let go of Calidora to apply pressure to his wound. Calidora fell to the ground. She quickly got up and ran toward Tyson.
Big Brother Tyson!
Big Brother?
Tyson was caught off guard, but quickly recovered. He created a hook and threw it toward the nearest building. He scooped up Calidora as he pulled himself up and got on top of the building. Captain Xia looked at the remaining guards.
Don't just stand there! After them!
The Saronian soldiers ran down the alleyways to chase the runaway captives. Tyson landed down on the building's roof. He looked back to make sure no one had followed before he put down Calidora.
This looks good.
Tyson put his arm on his knee as he focused on the young girl.
What was with calling me Big Brother back there?
Was I not supposed to?
Just curious. We're not related.
Calidora smiled widely. With her eyes closed. She moved her hands around as she talked.
My daddy said people don't have to be related to be your brother. They just have to be really close.
You think of us that way?
You saved me from the scary man, even though...
Calidora lowered her head, placing her finger on her chin. She looked sad.
Sometimes you can be scary.
Calidora looked straight into Tyson's eyes.
But you're scary to help your brothers, right?
Brothers? You mean Jason and the Red Sharks?
Calidora nodded.
And you think of me as a big brother, right, Calidora?
Tyson questioned.
Yeah, big brothers protect their little sisters. I always wanted a big brother.
Calidora gave Tyson a big smile. Tyson returned a gentle smile. He got up and looked over to his side.
We better get going and find the others. Who knows what trouble they'll get into without me?
Tyson then felt a wave of weariness swoop over him, having him collapse to his knees and hands. Calidora ran over to Tyson. She placed her hands on his shoulder.
Are you okay?
Tyson caught his breath.
I must have used too much energy designing earlier.
Will you be okay?
Tyson looked over at Calidora with a confident expression.
Yeah, just need a moment.
Tyson rolled over on his back, shutting his eyes. End of Chapter 5.